Hey guys, this is AuspiciousSaucie, and welcome to my Football Manager 13 Wonderkids Shortlist. In this special video that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going over many of the better, younger players that are in this year's game. Some of them you may know, some of them you might not, but all of them are quality, so this might help you guys when you're starting new games to find some quality youngsters that you can train and develop, bring through your first team, and they should all turn out quality within a season, maybe 2 or 3. And I do have some cheaper options as well as some not so cheap options, but the not so cheap options are often world-class players. Let's get straight into it then, shall we? The first player I have is the English goalkeeper, Jack Butland. And as you can see, Jack's stats are fairly decent already for 19 years old. Decent core stats for a goalkeeper. As you can see, let's highlight his key attributes. As you can see, they're all fairly good, fairly strong. And I'm pretty sure he's available for between 4.5 and 6 million. So, I mean, for a team in the upper half of the Prem, he's absolute quality as a backup goalkeeper to bring through in a couple of years' time. The next goalkeeper I have is Francesco Bardi. He does play for Inter, but he is currently on loan at Novara. As you can see, same case as Butland. He's a little bit more developed though, as his reflexes are a bit higher, as well as his one-on-ones and handling. But he's a year older. He'll probably be a little bit cheaper, but first season he's not too enticed by a move, even to a club like Arsenal. The next goalkeeper I have on the list is Alphonse Areola, Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper. As you can see, extremely similar to Jack Butland, except he's got a bit more balance and strength about him. So he's another quality player. He's a lot cheaper as well, extremely cheap option. So yeah, he can actually play left back and left wing back as well, which is quite surprising. The next goalkeeper on the list is Jerome Zoet. As you can see, he's 21 years old, so he's fairly developed. He's starting to mature, but as you can see, absolute quality stats there. I mean, he's quite cheap as well, as his value is only 400,000. Let's see if I have a report for him. I think I do. As you can see, 3.2 to 4 mil. That's a decent price paying for a first-team goalkeeper. And yeah, now the final player on the goalkeeper shortlist is Thibault Courtois. He is the Belgian goalkeeper. I think the Chelsea goalkeeper. Last season and this season he is on loan at Atletico Madrid. But as you can see, he's already a top-class player. As you can see, and only at 20 years old. I mean, he would be extremely expensive. I'd say anywhere between 15 to maybe 25 mil, somewhere in there. But I mean, you buy him, you've got a world-class goalkeeper for about 14 years, I'd say. Moving on to fullbacks, I think, defenders. Andre Hoffman says he's a defensive midfielder, but honestly, I would play him as a central defender, just because he's tall, he's got all the strong key stats for a central defender at 19 years old. His concentration is 12, so that's decent as well. Of course, he's very versatile, so he's a quality player to buy, and definitely makes my short list. The next player on the list is Thomas Kalas, the Czech Republic under 21 player. As you can see, decent stats for a central defender. He's quite quick as well, so he can play right back if needed. The only downside would be his strength, but apart from that, I'd say he's quality. Also on loan from Chelsea, and at 550,000. Let's see if he has a price. No, he doesn't. He's not interested. because he is at Chelsea. But I'd say he wouldn't probably be more than 3 million. The next player on the list is left fullback Jack Robinson. Most of you know him, the youth reserve defender from Liverpool. As you can see, absolute quality. I mean, I'm thinking about signing him for this Arsenal side and selling off Andres Santos, but I won't get into that too much. As you can see, he's absolute quality, and in a couple of seasons, by the time he's 21, he'll easily be first choice for any team, I'd say. The next player on the list is Marc Munizia from Barcelona. Most of you probably know him. Absolute quality player at 20 years old. Can play central defence, or he can play on the left as a left fullback. Quality pace and whatnot. And if played enough, I think he could develop quite nicely. Even for a side like Barcelona, he could, I think, in a couple of seasons, could be in their first team if he's played properly. Now, the next player on the list is Sianda Sulu, South African central defender, absolute quality, plays for Rostov in Russia, sorry. As you can see, absolute quality. He's massive, 192 centimeters. I mean, 17 heading. I mean, 2 seasons, and he could be playing for a top Premier League club. As you can see, absolute quality stats. As far as prices go, well, I don't actually have an estimated cost. But as you can see, not too much in wages either. The next player is an expensive one in Joel Matip. As you can see, Schalke player, 20 years old. I mean, we've seen him in the Champions League this season playing against Arsenal. He was quality, shut down many plays. I mean, he's already starting to become world class. You can see he's jumping, and of course his key central defender stats are pretty high up there. The next player on the list is Diego Reyes, the defensive midfielder. Can also play central defence, centre midfield. He's one of those squad players that can really come into use, especially if you play many competitions such as Champions League and the Cups if you're in England. 19 years old. I mean, I think he's quality. He's another player I'm looking into for this Arsenal save. Next we have the Brazilian right back Romario. Many people know him probably from Football Manager 2011, which was his first appearance in the game. He had a buyout clause. I mean, he has essentially a great range of stats that allow him to play down the right, essentially in any position. I mean, he's got great pace and fitness, and yeah, if trained in positions, he could easily become a complete right-sided player. But as a right fullback, he is quality, and he will only get better. Next player on the list is another right back, but can also play left back in Serge Aurier. Another player from previous versions you will probably know. As you can see, he's absolute quality, but I'm quite sure he would be fairly expensive. Maybe not too bad. But as you can see, absolute quality stats, 15 determination. I like to see determination in most of the players I buy, and he would fit the bill perfectly. The next player on the list is Ajax youth Kenny Tet. As you can see, same boat as Serge Aurier, except he's only 16 years old, which means he had a hell of a lot of developing left to do, and he's absolute quality already. I mean, he's easily a reserve team player on the fringe of the squad for me at Arsenal, as a possible replacement for Bakary Sagna. Next player on the list is French Benjamin Mendy. As you can see, same boat, 15 determination, absolute quality left fullback. Alright, the next player on the list is Gino Peruzzi, the Argentinian right back. As you guys can see, in the same boat as all the other players, 15 determination, quality pace, decent strength, and good core fullback stats. Can also play right mid as well, which will be beneficial as far as a squad player goes. The next player on the list is none other than Diego Renan. He's probably fairly known to most FM players, but if he's not, he's an absolute quality right and left back. Can play both with ease, essentially. As you can see, 15 acceleration, 14 pace, decent stats throughout his technicals and also his mentals. In a year or two, he will probably become a Brazilian international in your game. Will be a little bit expensive as well, though. Fairly low wage demands as well. So if it was me, I'd buy him, to be honest. Next player on the list is Leon Goretzka. Decent 17-year-old centre midfielder, left-footed, so he could be beneficial. As you can see, decent stats. Nothing too special, but he's fairly cheap, so he definitely goes on the list. As you can see, 1.6 to 2. Could probably get him for 1.7 there. The next player on the list is Ariel Bosiek. As you can see, he's absolute quality for a 20-year-old. Defensive mid, centre mid as well. Inept in playing both. He's a ball winner, as you can see, and quite decent. As you can see, if you're on for 3.2 to 4, 3.5 will probably get him for you with some ease. The next player on the list is none other than former Man United youth player Paul Pogba. As you can see, he's gone to Juventus this season, and he's actually played quite decently for them in real life. He is absolute quality on the game as well. At 19 years old, I mean, he really does have some nice stats there. Not sure if you can buy him straight away, probably not, but definitely have a look into him, as he's a quality wonder kid. Next player on the list is Valero Verre from Siena, or at Siena, but he is on loan from Roma. As you can see, quality stats again, 15 passing, 15 first touch, and of course 15 pace, as well as his decent creativity, makes him an all-round midfield player generally. As you can see, defensive mid, attacking mid, quality player. Should be fairly cheap as well, and he's got a low value. Definitely look to sign him, guys. The next player on the list is Fede Vico. Absolute quality, and I mean quality, left winger. Can play right winger as well. Can generally play throughout the whole of midfield. And as you can see, he is absolute quality, great pace, great stats for a winger. I mean, look at those mental attributes. They are quality for an 18-year-old. I mean, low value as well, so he shouldn't be, as you can see, look at that, 2.8 mil to 3.9. Now that is, if I don't know what quality is, that is quality. Next player on the list is Alvaro Vidillo. Same boat as the last player. Great pace, great determination and flair. 17 years old, I mean, can generally play throughout midfield. I think he's a beast, to be honest. Absolute beast. At 17 years old as well. Next player on the list is Yoshiaki Takahashi, Japanese central midfielder, attacking midfielder. Can even play out in the wing if he wants to. As you can see, great technicals, good pace, low strength. Needs a little bit of work on his mentals, but I have no doubt that he could be an extremely good player. Next player on the list you'll probably know of, Zachariah Labyad. Lots of talk of him on Football Manager 2011. I don't know how much there was talk about him last version of the game. I didn't hear much. But this year I think he's back. I think 19 years old. He's matured decently. I mean, he can play all down the right side in midfield. and I mean, he really does look quality this year. Definitely have a look out for him, guys. Probably won't be interested in a move because I think he's just signed for Porto, although I'm not sure about that. Next player on the list is Adrian. As you can see, in the same boat as Zachariah, absolute quality. 2 years younger though, will probably be a lot more expensive, but I mean, he looks worth it, doesn't he? Look at those stats. Absolute quality. Can play central midfield as well. Next player on the list is none other than this year's superstar bargain signing, Wellington Nem. I think everybody this year knows about him. I just had to put him in there. If you don't know about him, guys, I mean, 20-year-old Brazilian, look at his stats. Can play anywhere in the front third. I mean, absolute quality. And the best thing about him is, of course, his minimum fee release clause of 3.5 million. Generally, he will sign with any club if you give him what he wants in his wages, and he'll be yours for a steal at 3.5. Next player on the list is Gianluca Capari. As you can see, striker, decent striker at 18 years old. Quality signing for any club, to be honest. Can play on the wings as well. I mean, he does look quite good, quite tasty as a poacher or a winger. Next player on the list is International's 17-year-old Brazilian Octavio. As you can see, absolute quality. Should be fairly cheap as well. Doesn't give me an estimated cost, but I don't care. Oh no. As you can see, look at those stats for an attacking midfielder. I mean, I would even play him as a striker, to be honest. He looks decent enough to play as a striker. I'd probably play him as a poacher there, or even advanced. He does look quality. I might even sign him for this save. He does look very, very good. The next player on the list, and we're into the strikers now, is Mbai Niang. As you can see, AC Milan striker. Probably won't be able to sign him straight away, but if you can, I suggest you do it. 16 determination, absolute poacher stats there, quality pace and technique. Let's have a look if I can. No, as you can see, not interested yet, but he should be probably before January. Next player on the list is Admilson. Same boat as Niang, but I think Admilson's a bit better. Quality signing. I think you can buy him for about 6 mil. That's what you'd look to pay for him. And to be honest, if I had the money, I would sign him, and I might look to sign him on this Arsenal save. Next player on the list is Andreas Cornelius, the Danish striker. As you can see, quality stats for a striker. Another poacher I put in, but could easily play target man if needed, with his jumping strength and of course heading. As you can see, quality, 14 determination, 19 years old, left-footed, nice and tall, quality poacher or a target man if needed. And the last player on my list here is Richmond Boyako. As you can see, another quality striker here, another decent target man, great mental attributes here, and I think he can be. No, he can't. Never mind that. There you go, guys. That is my completed shortlist for Football Manager 2013 Wonderkids. I've been Auspicious Aussie. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope it's helped you somewhat. I'm not sure if I'll be doing any more of these videos where I help. I might throw out a few tactic videos if I decide to do it. So guys, if you like the video, give it a like rating, and of course, if you want to stay tuned to all of my videos and my series that I do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I mean, it will mean a lot to me, and I really would appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and goodbye.